Hello, all my fellow plebs out there. I want to give a shout out to my 6th subscriber. I think his name is Michael. Thanks for joining. Trying to grow the channel here. So if you want to become a lifetime pleb here at a pleb's view, please hit that subscription button and give me that the membership. That's one way you can help the channel grow right now. As I'm trying to reach 1,000 subs. So hit that subscription button, please. We're going to kind of touch on a personal topic here. The high school I actually went to currently, I guess they're going to vote today on letting a biological man participate in the girl sports and use their facilities along with them. That's something I'm not okay. I feel that if you are okay with letting people like this do such a thing, you're creepy, borderline pedo, if not a pedo. And I especially don't see how you can let a biological man use the same facilities as a biological woman and actually be able to sleep at night. And it just baffles my mind. I'm sorry, it just kind of a touchy subject. So anyways, this guy here, Andy Beshear, he's Kentucky's governor, vetoes the transgender sports bill. He vetoed the bill on Wednesday that would prevent transgender girls and women from playing on girls' sports teams in middle school and high school. The state legislature, which is dominated by Republicans, could override the veto with a simple majority in both chambers and expect lawmakers to do so when they reconvene next Wednesday. The bill had easily passed both chambers, so that's good news. That hopefully the Republicans can set up and get this bill passed to where it belongs. Mr. Beshear, Democrat, no shock there with how these Democrats are. I think the Democrats are on the verge of ruining the party. I think before long they're going to come up with something new. You got your moderate Democrats that I just feel like they're not with this woke stuff. These leftist Democrats are going to have to start their own party. It's kind of funny to say, though, because a lot of people thought that the Republican Party was kind of separating ways and was dividing, but now I think this is a change this country needed to bring the Republicans closer together. There's still some work on the Republican side that does need to be done. There's a lot of rhinos that need to be removed from office. There's no doubt about that, but we get those folks removed, and I think we can get this country headed in a lot better place if we just keep voting red and make sure that the vote that you are voting red is not a Democrat hidden in disguise, because there's a lot of that. And I think that's where the separation of the Republican Party came from originally. The Democrats have got their own little sheeple in there. I guess you could throw like the likes of Mitt Romney, folks like that. For some reason, I'm just drawing a blank, but there's tons of them. Adam Kinzinger, he's one. I thought here I'd have more come to my mind, but there's plenty of them out there. There's more than just them two. Mr. Beshear, a Democrat, wrote in his veto that the bill discriminates against transgender children and thus most likely violates the equal protections enshrined in the U.S. Constitution. Republican governors in Utah and Indiana have recently vetoed similar legislation, and the governors of Kansas, Louisiana, and North Dakota did so last year. The Utah legislature overrode the veto, becoming the 12th state to enact legislation barring young transgender athletes from participating in girls' sports. Republican lawmakers are expected to override the Indiana veto too. That's good. Hopefully, we'll have two more states join in this. I really wish Prickster down in Illinois and my lovely governor up here, Tony Evers, I wish they would step up to the plate and do the same. But as I said, they're Democrats, so that's highly unlikely that they would stick up for little girls' rights. Sick individuals, if you ask me. Republican sponsors and conservative activists framed the Kentucky bill, which is known as the Fairness in Women's Sports Act, as a defensive measure. If it becomes law, sports teams designated for girls in 6th through 12th grades will not be open to members of the male sex. based on the child's original birth certificate. Supporters of the bill argue that biological differences, especially after puberty, may give transgender girls a physical advantage in sports over cisgender girls, which I believe is true. I mean, a non-biological or a biological man, I'll put it that way, a biological man, he's gonna have more bone structure. He's just gonna have more mass. His shoulders gonna be broader. I mean, there's just gonna be just the way that they're built, and you're not able to change the structure. You're just able to turn the inside. So I mean, whether you hack off your genitalia or not, I mean, you come down to it, you either got two X chromosomes or an X and a Y. There's no difference about it. The Family Foundation, a Christian policy organization in Kentucky, expressed disappointment with the veto. Kentucky girls and women deserve a fair playing field, David Walls, the executive director, said in a statement. Amen. Biology matters, especially in sports, said Mr. Walls, who accused Mr. Beshear of siding with his woke political base. One often cited 2017 report in the journal Sports Medicine, which reviewed 8 research studies and 31 sports policies, found no direct or consistent research suggesting that transgender girls have an athletic advantage over their cisgender peers. The Fairness Campaign, a state LGBTQ rights organization, has said it was aware of only one openly transgender student athlete in Kentucky. She started her school's field hockey team, said the group's executive director, Chris Hartman. From the start, this bill has been more about fear than fairness, Mr. Hartman said in a statement. The student, Fisher Wells, testified against the bill in February. If it were to pass, she said at the time, that means I can't play, and it will be extremely detrimental to my mental health. It's disgusting that this bill is even suggested, she said at the time. It's terrible, and I worked really hard and practiced so many hours. In his veto, Mr. Beshear pointed out that the bill did not present a single instance in Kentucky of a child gaining a competitive advantage as a result of sex reassignment. He also noted that the Kentucky High School Athletic Association recognized the right of transgender students to play interscholastic sports. Education has become a primary issue as the country heads toward the midterm elections. I'd really like to see this, how they put it. Yeah, I really like to see that poll or whatever, or wherever he got that information to say that there was no competitive advantage. I know there was what was that? Was that Georgia? That state? There's the bunch of girls. There's a girl sprinter. She was like the best in the state, and some biological man came along and took that from her, and just knew that every meet that she was going to on the car ride there, that she was gunning for second. She knew that she wasn't gonna beat this guy. I don't know. I'd like to see where they're getting this information from, just to so we could all nitpick it, because I definitely up. But Governor Doug Ducey of Arizona and Governor Kevin Stitt of Oklahoma both signed legislation last week barring transgender women and girls from playing on girls' teams. And Republicans have also targeted discussions about race and have tried to ban divisive books. On Wednesday, Mr. Beshear also vetoed a bill that would have, among other issues, limited the ways teachers speak about race, racism, and parts of American history in the classroom, one of a number of bans on what legislators have described as critical. So, there we have it. We got wasn't 2 more states down here that recently signed into bills. So I mean, at least we're getting some states that are pulling their heads out of the rumpuses, making the right decisions for their constituents and their female constituents, especially their young ones, their kids. And this is just getting to the point now where we're just tarnishing our kids, chances. I mean, what you're gonna let a biological man come into a female's biological sport, compete, and take away her scholarships, potentially, and whatever else. I mean, it's just like that Leah Thomas. I mean, she was like 480 some in the world, as a biological man, transitions, goes competes in women's sports, and went in left, right, and center. Yeah, she lost a couple times, but I'm pretty sure that she those were intentional losses because she felt bad. Uh, was facing a lot of scrutiny at that time, so I'm sure she was just letting the girls have a little bit of the limelight, to not completely take it from them, but definitely do enough damage, more than enough damage to our females, especially after they fought so hard for the rights that they have in this country, and now we're just treating them like second rate citizens. There's my cat, but so it's just what we're gonna have to do with it. I mean, it's just when the midterms come up. I hope y'all voted. Wisconsin had their vote for the spring or whatever, and I went ahead and did that. I think that was probably the first time I ever did that little vote. I should have had a little bit more research done, but you live and you learn. So next time I do that, I should go and knowing a little bit more on that level. So, but I'm looking forward to the midterms. See what happens for that. So hopefully we can start getting this country turned around, going into the right direction. Break up the Democrat Party, and maybe let one of these independent parties or multiple independent parties maybe become more than just a two-tier system down the road. I'd love to see that too. I'd love to see more than just these two parties as well. So if you guys want to go ahead, hit that lifetime membership, become a pleb here, and see where this country's headed, folks. Till next time, have a good one.